Course 1, Introducing 21CLD. Lesson 3, What are the 21st century skills? Now think about what skills do you think are required for the 21st century? And how do we design learning environments that will develop these skills? Many frameworks have been developed to try and understand, as well as illustrate, the skills that are required to live and work effectively in this globally connected world of the 21st century. We will refer to a small number of them to see if there are commonalities across the frameworks in order to highlight a core set of skills that students need to develop. The Partnership for 21st Century Learning, or P21's framework, as it is more commonly known, is based on the essential skills they've identified for students to succeed as citizens and workers in the 21st century. P21's framework for 21st century learning was developed with input from teachers, education experts, and business leaders to define and illustrate the skills and knowledge students need to succeed in work, life, and citizenship, as well as the support systems necessary for 21st century learning outcomes. The P21 framework represents both 21st century student outcomes, as represented by the arcs of the rainbow, and support systems, as represented by the pools at the bottom. While the graphic represents each element distinctively for descriptive purposes, P21 views all the components as fully interconnected in the process of 21st century teaching and learning. Starting in the centre with the green arc, they have identified core subjects, which include English, reading or language arts, mathematics, science, foreign languages, civics, government, economics, arts, history, and geography. In addition, they've also identified several significant emerging content areas or themes which they believe are critical to success in communities and workplaces. These content areas typically are not emphasised in schools today and include things such as global awareness, health and wellness awareness, environmental literacy, etc. Above the green arc are the thinking and learning skills. As much as students need to learn about academic content, they also need to know how to engage in deep learning and make effective and innovative use of what they know throughout their lives. Learning and thinking skills comprise things such as critical thinking and problem-solving skills, communication skills, collaboration skills, creativity and innovation skills. To the right of the green arc are information, media and technology skills, often referred to as ICT literacy. This is the ability to use technology to develop 21st century content and skills in support of 21st century teaching and learning. To the right are the life skills. Good teachers have always incorporated life skills into their pedagogy. The challenge today is to incorporate these essential skills into schools deliberately, strategically, and broadly. Life skills include leadership, ethics, accountability, adaptability, self-direction, social responsibility. Beneath the arcs are what are referred to as the pools or support systems. The ACT 21S framework is another widely known framework that has been used by educators in order to understand what students need to develop for living and learning in the 21st century. Cisco, Intel and Microsoft sponsored this research collaboration between 2009 and 2012 in an attempt to accelerate global education reform by mobilising the international educational, political and business communities to help transform the teaching, learning and measurement of 21st century skills. The Assessment and Teaching of 21st Century Skills project, or ATC 21S framework, was focused on defining those skills and developing ways to measure them. ATC 21S defined 10 21st century skills in 4 broad categories, known as ways of thinking, ways of working, tools for working, and living in the world. As we examine these different models and frameworks, a common core set of skills begins to emerge. You can see from the slide that these include problem solving and innovation, global awareness, knowledge construction, skilled communication, self-regulation and assessment, and collaboration. This set of complex skills are often referred to as 21st century skills. But how do we measure and ensure that all students develop these skills? As we all know, today's society is constantly changing, which also means that knowledge is not fixed but dynamic. This requires that teachers are very skilled in teaching their students how to learn, gain knowledge, and adapt to change. Educators need to design learning environments to engage students and develop the skills necessary to live and work in the globally connected world of the 21st century. In this lesson, we introduce you to a practical methodology to help you with learning design. The 21st Century Learning Design, or 21CLD as it is often referred to, provides a research-based model for teachers to ensure that they can design learning environments in their classrooms which can explicitly develop the 21st century skills their students require to live and work effectively in this complex, connected, constantly changing world. The foundation of 21CLD is the Innovative Teaching and Learning, or ITL research. This was a global research program that investigated how schools and systems could encourage innovative teaching practices and the impact innovative teaching practices had on student learning. The original 4 pilot countries, Russia, Indonesia, Senegal, and Finland, were joined by 4 other countries that each co-sponsored the research. These were Australia, England, Mexico, and Brunei. The ITL research was a global research program spanning 3 years between 2009 and 2012. It was designed to investigate the factors that promote the transformation of teaching practices and the impact those changes have on student learning outcomes across a broad range of country contexts. In this research, innovative teaching practices were characterised by student-centred pedagogies, extending learning, and embedding ICT. Engaging in student-centred pedagogies meant that learning was personalised and collaborative, engaging the student in knowledge construction and high levels of self-regulation in a problem-solving environment that extended beyond the classroom walls to provide 24/7 learning opportunities, which developed global and cultural understandings and embedded high-level use of ICT by both educators and students for knowledge building and creativity. A critical finding from the ITL research is illustrated in this diagram. The diagram clearly illustrates that when educators provide learning activities that ask for 21st century skills, students can and do demonstrate those skills. The data shows the strong positive correlation between the degree to which learning activities called for 21st century skills and the level of the corresponding skills displayed in the students' work. So, innovative teaching practices are associated with 21st century learning outcomes for students, because when students are provided with opportunities to develop future skills, they do develop these necessary 21st century skills. However, good examples are rare. You will notice that there are fewer learning activities and students' work that are coded at a 4. What the ITL findings clearly illustrate is that it is the design of the learning activity that is the most essential element for the development of students' 21st century skills. To develop students' 21st century skills, teaching must change to embed those skills. These skills are easy to talk about as abstractions, but hard to define, develop, and measure. New professional development programs are needed that provide teachers with opportunities to collaborate in designing, developing, practicing, researching, and reflecting upon new teaching methods that embed these new skills in learning activities. Building on the ITL finding, which clearly illustrated that learning design was the essential element for students' development of 21st century skills, the 21CLD programme was developed. 21CLD is a bridge between the theory and the practice. The 21CLD programme provides a framework to guide the design of learning activities that explicitly develop this core set of 21st century skills in a defined way. These skills are needed for living and working in this complex, connected global world. To develop students' 21st century skills, teaching must change to embed those skills. These skills are easy to talk about as abstractions, but hard to define, develop, and measure. New professional development programs are needed that provide teachers with opportunities to collaborate in designing, developing, practicing, researching, and reflecting upon new teaching methods that embed these new skills in learning activities. Building on the ITL finding, which clearly illustrated that learning design was the essential element for students' development of 21st century skills, the 21CLD programme was developed. 21CLD is a bridge between the theory and the practice. The 21CLD programme provides a framework to guide the design of learning activities that explicitly develop this core set of 21st century skills in a defined way. These skills are needed for living and working in this complex, connected global world. A learning activity can be defined as any task that students do as part of their school-related work. It can be an exercise that students complete in one class period or an extended project that takes place both in and outside of school. 21CLD fosters teachers shifting from a focus on planning for one class period to more extended projects. The foundation of 21CLD is a set of rubrics for integrating 21st century skills into learning activities. The skills are collaboration, knowledge construction, self-regulation, real-world problem-solving and innovation, the use of ICT for learning, and skilled communication. The 21st Century Learning Design Programme consists of tools and resources that are designed to help educators develop a deep understanding of the 21st century skills, together with a language to describe these skills. It also provides a framework to analyse and code learning activities to see how deeply teachers embed opportunities for their students to develop 21st century skills. Using the framework, educators can develop a meta-language for talking about and sharing how they are embedding the development of 21st century skills into learning design. They can also collaborate in designing new learning activities that provide deeper 21st century skills development opportunities for their students. In this lesson, we examined what are the 21st century skills. In the next lesson, we will introduce you to the 21CLD framework.